Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Talks with Todd.
Yeah, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Talks with Todd. I'm your host, B. Todd, man. We got Miles on the ones and twos. We got my boy Mel. He coming in live remote, and we about to have a great topic, man. Rap facts versus rap fiction. Is it important? I can't wait to get into this topic. But before we get into the topic, though, I want to ask you guys something real quick. Did y'all both check out the Jay-Z interview?
Yeah.
Okay, Mel.
Yeah.
Okay. What? Share y'all thoughts about that, man.
Uh, I'm super meticulous, and I noticed certain things. Uh, Mainly that they was it was like two parts. You could see that they. I guess it's a GQ interview, so I
Right.
guess they was kind of show off like style and things like that. But you could tell it was a two-part interview. I don't know if they broke it up on purpose to kind of like make sure it stayed in a certain lane. Uh, but I noticed that. I don't know why I noticed that, but I just noticed the change of clothes, different settings. So I'm wondering if it's like, are they behind the scenes saying like, okay, you can ask this question, or you can ask this question. Don't ask that question, or don't ask it in a way where it's gonna incriminate me or make me look a certain type of way. And I know they do that anyway, but it just seemed kind of like out in the open or in your face, kind of like, no, we're gonna curate this interview the way we want to. But there's a lot of things that I noticed. I think it was like I don't know if it was a lot of contradictions or just the growth of Jay Z when he was talking about
I think it was
the
both, but go
independent
ahead.
grind.
I think it was
Uh,
both.
yeah, because I heard a lot of things. It was like, I'm here to help people. I'm here to give people a chance and give people a shot. When you hear stories of Jay Z, like pushing people away when they try to give them their demo or something like that. So it's like I, I hear a lot of contradictions, or I'm wondering if I hear growth. It's just it's a lot of it's a lot for me to unpack in 36 minutes. It was a lot in there for me because just I followed Jay Z's career from the beginning, so I
Right.
know all the nuances, the intricacies of his journey. And to hear some of these things, it's like, is this really Jay Z kind of like painting himself to be the best version? And I know we like to put our best foot forward. We like to put our best versions of ourselves out there. And I think Jay Z did that, but I don't think he had to. You're Jay Z. You don't.
Yeah, he
You're
kind of
not
said that with
beholden.
certain. Yeah.
You're not beholden to anybody. You're a billionaire. You got all these businesses and all these things. So I don't know.
Right.
I took a lot from it though. It's a lot. I want to break it down if we get a chance.
All right, Mel. Miles, what about you?
Um, I think through every part of people's life, healing has to come about. And his successful part of his career, he needed healing.
Okay.
And the part about him being a helper, damn a demo, show me work.
Right.
I have never seen nobody that handed somebody a demo and they were successful. Not talking about not just him, anyone.
Right.
That's why I believe they came up with the mythical logical that Eminem gave Dr. Dre a demo.
Right.
That's a lie. There's never been nobody that been successful, somebody giving them a demo. In this day and age, somebody gives somebody a demo that just show that they don't know the business. When I look at the interview, all I seen was a person who was saying, I got to get started back to where I left off. He did all this corporate thing. He did his corporate thug, and now it's time to get back to the music.
Yeah.
And he's just trying to find the best route to take. You know what I mean? You can't have a GPS to get back on track.
True.
There's no right road. There's only wrong roads to enter at his point in his career. He done drove he said in the song and drove every car.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it's like I just think people don't get it until they be a part of the business. You don't really get the right part of the business unless you really been in it.
I get
You
that.
feel me?
Yeah.
I got
So
that too. I got that too from him. I got that like I got the fact that like he feels like y'all just don't know the pressure. You know what I'm saying? Of being Jay Z, like
not
of
just be
being the person that has to be
a
not only the
father.
artist,
Yeah.
a father, also a
A man of many
CEO.
hats. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
it's
really
just
what
I
it
gotta
is.
wear all these hats and
Yeah.
try to balance this while also trying to hold dear to me the principles and the things that I came in this game with that I took from my earlier life in the streets, the
Yeah.
morals and those principles, and try to balance everything. It seemed like just a heavy weight in him, just letting everybody know like this is a heavy burden that I had to carry,
And you know it's a heavy,
and it's hard to balance it.
and you know it's a heavy burden when everybody he was involved with has been successful except for Chris and Neef.
Well, no, Chris successful because what you don't know
It's
is
right.
Chris writes
Yeah.
behind the scenes for a lot of people.
But he definitely wanted to be in front of that camera.
But he can be. It's not too late.
No, it's
Because you know what I'm
not,
saying?
but
Because he what I'll say about young Chris is that young Chris, yeah, he had a more of a promising future before the Rock broke up.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think that just stopped his shine. That didn't stop his bread.
Right. No, very true.
Yeah.
But the money, he wanted that fame.
Yeah, he deserved it. He was great.
Yeah, the thing about Chris and Neef though is that Chris wanted something different from what Neef wanted. Neef was
Definitely
more reserved, and Neef is more of a street guy. I know people from Philly who will attest to the fact that Neef is still kind of like deep
in
in
the
the
streets.
streets right now.
Yeah,
So,
but
but I think they both wanted two different things, and you can
yeah.
see like a lot of Chris doing a lot of things without Neef. You know what I'm saying?
Most
Because Neef
hell, I mean, it's
wasn't
smart. This is a smart move.
It is.
yeah,
It
he
was a smart
wasn't
move.
really focused.
I
Even
mean,
during the Rockefeller days, he was
who is
like,
Oskino? Oskino is to me
He was part of state property.
right, but he's a pure hater right now.
Yeah, he comes off like that. But back to the Jay
I
Z
know.
interview though, what I got from it, I think that it was I think it was dope that he even sat down and had an interview after all these years. That's one. Two,
Yeah.
I like the fact that he's about to get back to the music. He's just trying to find a lane to go in, but at the same time, don't just want to put out some bull.
Right.
So I respect that. You know what I'm saying? Because I remember him saying a while back, anybody could just make a bunch of albums of nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like not talking about nothing, don't have no purpose. I understand that. And I understand, his last album had a purpose. Me personally, I do believe that last album, we should have been got that, but it's cool. It was still,
444?
yeah, we should have been got that album. However, even with it coming late, there was still a message behind it, and it was good. It was good. It wasn't my favorite, but it was still good content wise versus music wise. I am looking forward to hearing what he got to say on whatever he comes out with next. I do know a concert is coming up in New York or in Philly as well.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be crazy. The tickets are like 1,000 and up or 2,000 and up right now. So I already know it's gonna be nuts out there. But I'm looking forward to the album, man. I really hope that whatever he comes out with is obviously everybody gonna talk about it. It's Jay-Z we talking about, and so. But I know it's gonna be something. He's never put out anything that was whack to me.
He sold out Yankee Stadium, bro.
Yeah, I know.
In the day,
I'm sure he did.
not even a day. Couple hours.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to it. I like the interview. I'm gonna tell you what I didn't agree with, and then we can move on to the topic. What I didn't agree with is what he was saying about the battle portion of rap. He's saying that it wasn't good for the culture. That part of it is good for the culture. Was not good for the culture is when wives and kids get brought up into it. That's the part that I believe shouldn't be. If it's gonna be rap, let's keep it rap and let's keep it between me and you. Yeah. I'll knock you down 40 million times, but I'm not gonna bring up any of your family.
Yeah.
I'd rather it be like that.
But that was the part he was talking about that he didn't like.
Yeah.
He didn't say he didn't like the battling. He said he didn't like the battling.
No, he said he didn't think it's purposeful for the culture. He said sparring is.
As far as now.
Yeah,
He
Brown.
wasn't talking about period. He was talking about far as now.
Yeah, now.
He was saying because it involves too much. People can really get touched in this industry right now. And the reason why he's telling the truth. I mean, people dropping locations like come holla at me. That's not healthy.
Yeah, yeah,
You
I
know?
agree. I agree with that part of it. Yeah, I definitely agree.
Don't test no manhood when you just out here in the streets because you will get got.
Yeah, I agree.
Shout out to Pop Smoke. I'm being honest with
Yeah,
you.
you right.
If he never would have dropped his location, he probably still be living. Curtis Jackson Jr. The whole Jay-Z interview was dope. I think Jay-Z always give people opportunity. I don't know if you even listened to the samples that was in 444, but these was people who didn't get their proper due, right? Mm-hmm. He gave them opportunity to get paid off of 444 through the licensing of him.
That was dope. That was a good move.
When he threw the Clark sisters a bone, Twinkie Clark would justify that Jay-Z was very generous on the royalty payment.
Yeah, but you know, Jay-Z said it a long time ago. You're never gonna hear nobody talk about what I did for them. It's always what I didn't do.
Well, I mean, but that's people. Period.
Yeah, that's people. Period.
That's
like
people, period.
He's telling the truth.
Yeah, you have to say it don't have to be Jay-Z. People have a problem with giving people their proper due when it comes to being vulnerable.
Yeah, and speaking of people having a problem, rap facts versus rap fiction. Do y'all feel like, and this goes with this kind of falls in with Jay-Z because he's been accused of stealing flows and stealing lines and all that stuff. Do y'all care? And I'm talking to you guys as the people as well. Do y'all care if somebody is lying in their rhymes, telling the truth? Like, is it important to y'all anymore, or do y'all just care about music being good?
I just care about music being good because I don't care about when these actors be acting and they be lying. They not nowhere near who they are in that film.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel the same way because if I told this to Tia, as a matter of fact, if somebody can rap, they can act. Like, I feel like they go hand in hand. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody, let's be real, even the toughest dude can't be tough 24/7.
Not at all.
Yeah, so I'm for the music because the way I see it, I don't know none of these fools personally.
Right.
I only met a handful of rappers.
Right.
So those are the only ones that I'm gonna be like, okay, yeah, this is a real person or whatever the case may be. He talk about what he's actually spitting what he live. I respect it, whatever. But if I don't know them personally, I could care less. Now the people that I know personally, matter of fact, I do know a rapper personally. When I met dude, he was rapping all clean and, wasn't cussing, mama's boy type, but then all of a sudden, years go by, I'm a blood. He started rapping like he was a gangster and I couldn't listen to him no more. Cause I'm like, this ain't you. Now you rap about the ladies and, something else, that's you, that's real. But because I knew him personally, I couldn't entertain his music. I couldn't entertain the gangster stuff because that's not who I knew.
Yeah, and the creative people rapped about, they rap about things that they see and not what they do. Scarface said a long time ago, if you think I'm gonna sit up here and rap about murders that I done done, right, and people who had them beat up, physically assaulted, you have to be dumb.
Absolutely.
I think I remember Ice Cube did an interview where he said we're reporters. We're hood reporters. We report on what we see going on in our community and in our neighborhoods. And I think that's what needs to be stressed, because you do have people out here that will take what these rappers say literally and then pattern their lives after that. Boosie recently put out a tweet about the whole going PC and general population jail thing. But within that tweet, he said, I understand that people listen to my music and they imitate what I do. So if y'all imitate what I do based off my music, then you won't check in PC.
Right.
Forget the PC thing. But if you know that somebody's listening to your music and they're emulating and imitating that type of lifestyle and they're adopting that lifestyle because they listen to your music, is it a good thing that we put that type of music out there? There has to be kind of like a balance with this stuff. You got to understand that it's art, it's an artistic thing, but some people don't understand that. So is it on you as an artist? Are you responsible for basically?
Babysitting.
Right. Yeah. Pretty
Yeah.
much. And like Kevin said, he said it depends on the image that the artist is portraying. I agree with that, because if you came out on some gangster stuff, I understand your raps being like that, but as time go on, you gonna have to evolve. Like Jeezy, for an example. I don't listen to Jeezy, but I used to. And when he was talking about, slanging and all of that, it was cool. The beats was dope. All that was cool. But at some point, he did evolve, and that's where a lot of people say his music got whack, because he wasn't talking about the street stuff no more. Well, how long can somebody talk about the street life? It's at some point. At some point, you supposed to get out of that. You can't be in the streets forever, and I think
But
people get lost with that.
yeah, but I think that's why we have that ageism situation in hip hop, where nobody can be over a certain age because nobody want to hear them talk about grown up stuff. I want to hear you talk about getting your kids ready for school
Yeah.
and
But there's an
taking them and
audience for
dropping
that,
them off
though.
and stuff like that.
What
But that's
about
the thing too. Doc. I'm not saying that it's a good thing or a bad thing, because if you're 40 and you rap, and most of my favorite rappers right now are over 40 or pushing 40. I'm not really I'm not listening to a lot of 20-year-olds. So I'm cool with ageism in hip hop, but you have that. It's a lot of stuff within hip hop that we gotta toe lines on, and it's crazy. It's kind of hard to do that balancing act.
I don't think we have to do any of that. Here's why. R&B never done it. Feel me?
Mm-hmm.
Rock and roll never did it.
Yeah,
So why we gotta be the monarchs or the patriots of hip hop when there's different stages to the game?
Yeah.
No.
I don't think age. I definitely don't agree with ageism,
No.
because if you making good music, you making good music.
yeah, you're making good music.
Jay-Z
I
did
think
it.
it's because hip hop is so young. You know
No,
what I'm
it's
saying? Hip
being
hop
it's,
is still kind of young in the fact that we
It,
haven't had a lot of legacy acts.
but
Legacy
here,
acts are just now being a thing.
I don't
Lil
think
Wayne's
it's
still touring,
I
or
don't think it's because we're young. I think it's because it's controlled. R and
yeah,
B,
I believe
rock
that
and
too.
roll has never been controlled.
no.
And the reason why is because everybody or anybody can do it. The minute we felt foolishness and blind to that rap was just gonna be a black sport. When Eminem got into the game, it unleashed a lot.
Before Eminem.
No, not really.
Beastie-
I'm not gonna say.
Yeah.
No, but
But yeah, Eminem. I get what you're saying. Eminem had more of an impact than Beastie Boys and Vanilla Ice.
yeah, because Eminem was involved
And
with black folks.
what's my man's name?
Exactly.
Search.
Don't remember.
MC Search.
Right.
Yeah, and MC Search. Yeah, yeah.
So, but again, those even MC Search and them, they still wasn't involved with black music.
Got you.
It was and Eminem was around black people.
Yeah, grew up around him.
Dr. Dre was his big homie.
Right.
You feel me? Snoop was his big homie. You know what I mean? He was surrounded by nothing but black folks. And as time went, it became whiter and whiter and whiter.
Yeah.
The reason why you never heard of a Kid Rock Eminem concert, it would have been mayhem.
I believe it.
If Kid Rock, Eminem, and ICP would have had a tour, it would have been dumb.
Yeah.
It would have been stupid crazy, right?
Yeah. Somebody would have got killed.
Well, and the powers that be didn't want to have that blood on their hands, but when it comes to black folks, they put the blood on the black folks.
Absolutely.
And so we have to really think about, again, how we say what we say, because we don't be saying nothing that amounts to a conclusion. We would say things that sounds good coming off our lips, but the truth is, by us not controlling it, it don't fucking matter.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's the
So
truth.
how do y'all feel about Will Russell's statement saying that Lil Wayne never really said anything of substance in his
He
music?
told
I believe he told the truth. I believe LaRussell told the truth. I don't agree with some of the other stuff that LaRussell had to whatever music he came out with, but as far as what he said about Wayne, he's telling the truth.
absolutely true.
Because I can't even go back and other than the Carter 2, Lil Wayne don't have replay value like that to me. And I know I'm gonna get killed, but it's the
Yeah.
truth.
No, you don't get killed because of you telling the truth.
No, in the comments, I am because
listen.
you got to understand people. You got to understand some of these people are not just listeners. They feel like they are a part of these people. A lot of people act like they are glued to these celebrities that they don't know.
They got to
Trust
defend.
me, exactly. You know how many people I've seen get into fights over the Pac and Big argument? So these people,
And LeBron and George.
yeah, right. So it's the same thing with Lil Wayne. Whoever, if they favorite, look what happened. You got killed in the comments for the Wu Tang not having no classic.
I didn't even see it.
Yeah, but I'm saying
Oh,
though,
no, I saw it.
Wu Tang, because of you saying Wu Tang didn't have a classic album, people from New York went ridiculous on you. But guess what?
They from New York.
Exactly. They even garnered the attention of Lloyd Banks of all people, saying that was crazy. We gotta do better.
You talking about the artist is only known for being with somebody else?
Yeah.
Okay. So
But other than that though, he's made moves outside of 50.
I ain't say they make moves, but the only reason why
People know him. You know, I get what you. But that's kind of like with any artist though.
that's not true.
City artist.
That's almost every artist though.
Like who?
Let's
J.Cole,
take Lil
Kendrick,
Wayne for an example. We only
Drake.
know about Lil Wayne because he was with the Hot Boys. Who blew up first? Juvenile.
So my point is, it's funny how him and Juvenile don't even have a record together.
Now, yeah. Well, no, that's no. I think they do got a record. It just I don't think it did win anywhere.
But
but-
my point to you is that fan base start at youth. Lil Wayne was the youngest part of the Hot Boys.
True.
So he became more famous than other people because young people wanted something to look up at while their big brothers was doing something.
Right.
Silk the Shocker happened because he was the youngest of the crew. I mean, and he can't put two words together that make sense. So I'm just saying that people, I mean, hear me out.
No, I know.
Like when you first heard Freeway, the single was Freeway.
Yeah.
When you first, you know what I mean? Now, Memphis Bleak is kind of different. When you first heard Beanie made it on his own.
I get what you're saying.
Nobody, I mean, the only relationship base you have off of people when they even want to comment is like, who coattail did you drag in on?
I get what you're saying.
You feel me? Again, the pressure is on people like a Jay-Z because he's done so many things. Nobody really can amount to it. There's nobody in the industry, period, can amount to what that man has done. Nobody. So when you think about that, he's going to be the most targeted. He's going to be the most criticized.
Yeah.
You know, I just heard a whole song talking about I remember Nas was talking about you biting lyrics. Shit, Nas took a whole damn song and verbally took parts of the song and just redone it to put other words in place, but still made the same tone and said some of the same lyrics. I can't remember this. I just heard it yesterday.
But was it a good song?
No.
Okay.
My point to you is that Jay-Z said you made it a high line.
I made it a hot song. Yeah.
And that makes sense. He's telling you, like, no matter what I do, you would never be able to compete with it. And that's the problem and the bogusness. I mean, the boldness that Jay-Z can say, in fact, own. So if he's, you got to really, Jay-Z, I wrote a whole book about Jay-Z.
Yeah.
And when I took his lines about business and put in a business phrases because that's what he do.
Right.
He do business.
That's true.
So, and plus, again, people going to tag Jay-Z because we have been taught to hate the person who got the most money that's not helping us.
Yeah, and that's stupid. Just get your own money, find your own way. Mel, what about you, man? Do you care about people lining their rhymes or keeping
Me
it?
personally, I don't. As
Okay.
somebody who understands, because, but we got so I don't know if it's just for that time, but we got so much music. At one point, everybody was saying Lil Wayne was the best rapper alive, and
Yeah.
still at that point, he wasn't saying anything of substance. So, and it wasn't like a whole lot of like, oh, I believe this. Like, I believe Lil Wayne is going to break down three keys and and turn them into doors or something. Whatever he would say to, you know what I'm saying, make his lyrics or make his rhyme sound, you know, appealing to the artist or the listener. So I don't care me personally, but I can say that rap has been very influential in my life. Like I did at one point, I did believe a lot of this stuff.
Yeah.
I did. So I think I don't know, man. It's a line for me to toe as someone who loves the art form, who loves the music. I don't care. Fly all you
Okay.
want to, say what you want, whatever makes it sound, whatever makes a double entendre, or whatever makes a punchline sound good. I'm cool with it because
Got
I
you.
understand how hard, as someone who wrote music and who had aspirations as a writer. I understand how hard it is to create those lines
Right.
and to make those lines be appealing to other people and to get those oohs and ahs. It's not going to always be facts. It's not going to always be real stuff. It's going to you just want the oohs. You just
I'm
want people saying, ah,
I'm
yeah, you
cool
want
with
that crowd.
I'm cool with shit being exaggerated a little bit, but you can't just go completely out of character. Like I can't deal with that. And that's what I witnessed about the rapper I was telling you about. Like this person went from just straight clean cut to all of a sudden I'm bloody blood. And I'm like, where did this come from? I never seen you be a gangster. I never
Hmm.
seen you with a pistol. Last time I seen you, you had computer speakers hooked up to your car. It was just weird, bro. Like, so with me knowing so much, it's hard for me to give that artist grace to somebody that I know is the total opposite of what he's saying he is in these rhymes.
Yeah.
You know,
But we don't know. Well, most artists we don't know though.
right,
Yeah, you
right, and I get that, but that's why I said I don't know. Okay, when it comes to Ti, I don't know who he really was out there in Atlanta. I don't know Clifford Harris. I just know Ti, and he make good
Right.
music. That's it. That is all. That's all I've been saying. Even my boy Jitler, he said, "Do we ask Sly Stallone was he really a killer?" Like, nah. So I get it. Like, we not gonna know these things about some of these artists that come out of nowhere, start rapping. They got the streets on fire. Cool. Like prime example. Let's talk about Jadakiss real quick. Nobody knew up until a few years ago that Jadakiss went to
he
a
went to
private
a
school.
private school.
His
Yeah.
pops outed him on Joe Budden's
On the
podcast.
Joe Budden podcast.
He was
But
like,
that's the
I
thing
don't know.
too.
Yeah.
The internet and all these platforms, these social spaces, they don't mind digging and figuring stuff out. That's what makes. I remember you just loved the art because the art. You went to the record store, you picked it up because I like this artist, I like what they're saying, I like what they're talking about, and you
Right.
really didn't dig too deep into their personal life or even their past. If they gave it to you on the record or in music, that's great. That's a bonus. It's a plus. But now, when you do music now, there's that element of the internet. Now everybody can uh, Google and figure out what your life was. They can find high school pictures or prom pictures or jail records. Everything is accessible now. So now you have the artists who may come out and feel like they have to hold or have to have a certain persona, but there might be that fear of somebody digging too deep and figuring out that, oh, I'm not really like that.
Well,
Yeah.
I give you a perfect example because Dorian mentioned about pro wrestling, right?
Okay. What Dorian say about pro wrestling?
He said rap when I was younger in the generation was the soundtrack to our lives. True. Now I have evolved from it like pro wrestling and toys.
True.
Growth makes you put down the toys and faker things in life. Like me, once I found out wrestling was fake, I stopped watching it.
Yeah. You know what? I'm glad Dorian brought up wrestling. Two things made me stop watching wrestling. And I was a kid witnessing this when I went to WrestleMania. I forgot what year it was, but I was young. First of all, the camera is something different. When you think people getting clotheslined, it's not happening as much as you think it is. I saw with my own eyes somebody just fall back from supposedly getting clothesline for like 6 feet away. Like, it was insane how many games they played with that camera, but I got a chance to see how they did it, and I was like, wow. Then we leave in WrestleMania, the two dudes that's supposed to be enemies in the same Lexus.
Talking. Yeah.
I was like, I'm done. I didn't watch wrestling after that.
So we have to remember, when black people is the most dominant part of the sport, our accreditation lowers as we get more famous.
Yeah.
So when some songs I heard that Prince even was a drummer on some of Jay-Z records. Nobody believed me until Jay-Z had said that him and Prince have a great relationship.
Right.
And every time they had a question like, "Have y'all ever worked together musically?" It was like, because I understand some things don't need to be said when you hear "Show 'em What You Got." I believe that's Prince on the drums.
Really?
Man, listen to it.
I gotta go back
And you only get,
because Lil Wayne killed that so bad. I never listened to the original again.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
I never heard
The
that.
band, I'm telling you ain't gonna go ahead.
No.
Go ahead. What's your
He ain't
point?
saying nothing, but he's saying something.
No,
Yeah.
but see, the whole thing, I don't just like lyrics for lyrics.
Right.
I like stuff that has substance.
Yeah.
The reason why I did not never listen to Hard Knock Life, because I thought it was corny. And then when I listened to it, I said, oh, this dope. I thought it was a little kiddie record.
Nah.
You know what I mean? But then
That's how I felt about I Know I Can.
I Can.
I didn't like that at first either until I listened to the message.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
The message was dope.
Yes, absolutely.
But you got the thing about music is some people just want the slaps. I want the stuff I can listen to in my car. I want the stuff I can get ready to go to the club to or be in the club to. And most of the time, that ain't no message. It's somebody twerking, somebody drinking, somebody smoking, rolling up. So that's the thing with hip hop. Like, we just have to find that balance. We got to figure out, like, we got to know, like, okay, this is just a club record. This is something that can get you hyped. This is just something that's going to motivate you when you out hustling, you grinding, no matter what your hustle is. You could be at work flipping burgers, or you could be at work stamping car parts, or whatever it is. It's all a hustle, and there's some things just motivating. Like you said, the Nipsey Hussle album is something that I put on when I'm at work. Man, when I'm trying to get through this last couple hours, I'm working night shift.
Yeah.
And I need to get through these last 3 hours without falling asleep on my feet. I'm going to go ahead and put that victory lap on and understand that it's a grind. I'm grinding right now. I got to stack this money. I got to get to a certain space. So it's a double-edged sword, man, because some people take stuff so literally and they can't really compartmentalize and put things where they need to be.
True.
And say, okay, this is just for when I'm hustling, or this is just when I'm in the club. This is when I need a message. A lot of people can't really do that. Some people just want slaps and they want stuff
all day. All day. And you're right. Julian said, no, that's just Blaze on them drums. And Dorian said, rap is quite similar to wrestling. It's all about selling moves, in quotes. And he said, and the reaction from the crowd. In wrestling, it's called getting pops. In rap, it's called keeping it real, and neither of them are. So that's true. That's true. Sean said Hard Knock Life, he was trying to get so much radio play. After he saw it didn't work, he went super street.
It worked.
Who's
he sold 5 billion. He sold 5 billion on that. Hard Knock Life sold 5 million.
No, I don't think that was it. Wasn't even a radio song in the beginning to me.
Well, it's a Hard Knock Life?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think they needed something subtle to give him personality, because the drug dealer look was fake. Be a persona was leaving.
Yeah.
You know, what we didn't need on radio is another drug dealer.
I understand that. I get that.
I mean, because Hard Knock Life was a record that turned me off. You know what I mean? The record that turned me on to the whole album was him and Memphis Bleek. I done came up.
Put my life on the line. That's coming to age.
Coming to age, because it was telling, I was living a story similar to that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Doc think he cool because he this, he that, he did this, he did that. No, nigga, you can get part of this too.
Right.
You just got to be able to listen. And so when I heard
Do
Go
y'all
ahead.
think it's the artist that's doing the fictitious or these personas that's putting on these
Yes.
personas, or is it the executives basically saying, "Listen, this is what's selling, and this is what we need you to do. You have the talent, you have the skill, but we need you to pick these topics and talk about this type of stuff in
I,
order to sell records."
I
I
believe
believe
it's
it's
both.
both.
It's both. It's definitely both.
Yeah.
Because the record execs is sitting up there like, oh, I know this is gonna bring in money, so do what's
Yeah,
gonna
because
bring
you
in
got
money. Then you
Daniel.
got somebody else that's like, I'm gonna do it because I want to keep my street cred. You know what I'm saying? So it's definitely both. But then you got guys like J.Cole. So here's my thing. Here's my question to y'all. Can y'all believe all the GOAT talk he's been doing? You know what I'm saying? That he's been doing after all this time, and then apologizing to Kendrick. Now he gave an explanation as to why he did it. I get it, but do y'all believe he could still talk all that GOAT talk and he handled it the way he handled it? Because to me, he just proved that he not built for the battle shit.
I mean, I don't think he ever was built for battle.
Yeah,
Okay,
everybody's not built for that.
I think he never was trying to be in a battle. He was just trying to defend himself.
okay,
I mean, even in Jay-Z's interview when they brought up J. Cole,
right,
J. Cole has been doing nothing but trying to prove to other people that he's good, not that he's the GOAT. People who like J. Cole music like good, fun music,
right,
a sound or songs that represent them. Like Jadakiss never hid that he went to private school.
right.
If they would listen to him, Jadakiss is probably the best well-spoken of the Rough Riders. You feel me?
Possibly, yeah.
Yeah, so I said well-spoken, not just the way I'm talking about the way he speaks.
Right.
He articulates very well, and when the other locks speak, he just shut up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he bring them back on track. I mean, so he's their leaders, and they know his strong points.
Right.
You know, Styles P is a hothead.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So he be like, yo, fuck all that, you know?
Yeah.
And Jay like, hold on. Let's hear him out because we don't want to hurt nobody for the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
You feel me? And I watch in the industry, I watch how the locks, they beef was always the younger people, but when they realized that the heads of the crew didn't beef, they let it go. They let it die down.
Yeah.
I've seen it.
But my thing is, J. Cole did say he was the GOAT before. He was rapping like he was the best. He was saying he was the best.
He's the best. He's the best rapper.
So
Period.
with that being said, because of him apologizing and getting out of the mix of the battle, because we already know why he threw a diss song at Kendrick anyway, because of the way Kendrick responded to the Big Three comment on the song with Drake.
Yeah.
I get it, but because if y'all homies and y'all really friends like that, and it was just supposed to be a friendly fade, the rapper in me don't understand the apology and taking the song off the project.
Well,
I think it was because he didn't want to be in the battle. He didn't want to be in a three-way match with Kendrick, Drake, and because it's gonna get Kendrick and Drake is gonna get out of hand.
Right.
I'm only doing this to show y'all I'm the best rapper. I'm not doing this to tear your life apart and expose you as somebody who's fake or who's
Exactly.
somebody who's this. I'm just here to show you I'm better than you as a rapper.
So
And
okay,
this battle is not gonna be
Yeah.
conducive to that. Like
So
I'm not gonna do that.
So let me ask y'all this then: do y'all still believe that he's the best rapper, even though he didn't show that he was, really battle tested?
I mean,
Do y'all
said
believe
that
him?
when we did the fall off.
I
when we
think
did the
Kendrick is
fall off
better.
thing.
I think Kendrick is better than J. Cole. Anyway,
You think Kendrick better than J. Cole?
yes.
Okay, yeah, I agree.
But what I'm saying is, some things can be left unsaid. If you believe that you are the best in between the three, I go to war with J. Cole before I go to war with Kendrick.
El Ray said that apology shit was weak. You can't pop off and then apologize when shit get too real.
Well, I don't think, but I think he was looking more further down the line.
Yeah, I think he was too, but
Because just imagine people arguing, dog. There was people arguing, beefing over who was the best between Drake and Kendrick. Then until Kendrick unleashed what he had going on, without a reasonable doubt, because I think that's even playing field. With J. Cole being in the middle, he would gain more enemies than he could have gained allies.
Yeah, I mean that's a good question. So does battle make you a better does a battle rap make you a better rapper?
No.
No, it does
No.
not. No, it does not. However, you will garner more attention depending on how well you do in that battle. See, a lot of people, for whatever reason, still think that Drake didn't lose. However, and I understand why they say that, because a lot of people, because some people believe that Drake is he's the better rapper between them and him and Kendrick. I think if Drake would have just focused on battling Kendrick, we will have a different conversation. Not that Kendrick would have lost, because I never think that Drake could beat him. Which is why I think Drake tiptoed around battling him in the first place. But a lot of people that like Drake feel like he didn't lose because they said Drake is still on top of the game.
He's not. He
dropped something right now. Everybody about to go crazy.
But yes and no. And the only reason why they're going to go crazy because they want to see if they're going to speak on Kendrick. And here's the thing. Anybody who puts somebody out their whole career out for almost 3 years, bro, you can never have no particular battle respect. I don't care what platform it's been. I mean, before Kendrick, Jay-Z was a Kendrick fan. Trust me, he was a Drake fan.
Yeah, he was. He had him on what? He had him on Blueprint 3. So yeah,
he had him on tour.
Yeah, he had him on tour. So he was definitely a fan.
So my point to you is that no one can. If anybody believes Drake is anywhere near a better person as a rapper than Kendrick, they delusional.
Now, I think with the J. Cole thing, I think J. Cole had way more information than we have. Let's be honest. These people, they talk in the industry, it's behind the scenes. There's a lot of stuff going on that won't come out probably ever. And if it does come out, it won't come out until 20 years down the line on some random podcast with somebody talking. But so I think J. Cole had way more insight on where this battle was going, and he was like, okay, well, let me get out the way, because I'm here to show y'all I'm better than y'all as a rapper. I'm not here to show you I'm a better person, a better father, a better husband, and I'm not here to go into all that.
Or a better mudslinger.
I'm just here to show you I'm a better rapper. And me personally, to fall off prove that he's a better rapper. I'm not going to say he's a better artist than Kendrick, because Kendrick artistically can go wherever he wants to. He's all over. You can do whatever you want. You want to get you in the club, he can get you in the club. He can take it back to the streets. He can give you a story. He can get conscious. He can talk about Jesus. And he can talk about selling dope. And he comes from that type of cloth where he has that background where I grew up in the hood. That's a real hood. But I'm also a person who's conscious of the pitfalls of the hood, and I want to make everybody aware of that. So
it's really hard to be the man that got children. It is. It's just hard.
Yeah.
It's hard to be the man that's married and have children.
Yeah.
His eagerness and his drive is different because of his purpose.
Right.
You feel me? When you have a man who degrade women and do certain things, you already know the mentalities are different.
Yeah, super different. Like it's way different. Like these, and that's the thing too, man. Like a lot of these rappers that live that lifestyle, like these people that rap and talk about these different lifestyles, it's been fiction going on for a very long time. And if it ain't fiction, we'll never know. Like, look how long it took for people to find out Snoop was married, Too Short was married, and they both talked about pimping. Yeah, J. Cole.
I knew J. Cole was married.
These dudes wasn't wearing wedding bands or nothing like that. They was talking the good game and making it seem like they was out here just fooling. And I know why they did it, because when it come down to them being in the spotlight, that allure still got to be there. Like, oh, he's tangible. You know what I'm saying? Women got to feel like they can get that person. They can get to him, or they got a shot with him. So putting out there that you're married and you happy. Look what happened to Chance the Rapper. He put out one album that everybody hated because he was talking about how much he loved his wife.
That's crazy.
And it was a done deal. He bounced back after a divorce. Boom. Look what happened.
Or a said divorce.
Right. Or a said divorce. Or said divorce.
Hey, Shanny.
What up, though, Telly? Top of the top, caller, you on the air.
Good afternoon, fellas.
What's going on, Dorian?
Once again, a great subject and a great topic.
Thank you.
I would say, actually, like I said before, I feel like Kendrick, he comes from that era, that early 2010s, well, I won't even say 2010s. I would say 2000, mid 2000s.
Mm-hmm.
The Cool Kids, Shorty Beat. I mean, a lot of those West Coast rappers, they were like conscious rappers, but they were all about bars. They were all about lyrics. There was Cool Kids. I forgot the other guy's name. They all came from LA. You know, it was a lot of good artists. And so he was already in tune as far as the lyricist. You know, now Cole, like I said in the comments, he's multi-dimensional. He can like dude said, he can rap about, he can put a club song together if he needs to. He can put a conscious record together easier than most, you know, similar to Nas. He can do probably a little bit of battle rapping, you know, but for Yamina, the difference is a battle rapper isn't a good song maker. Jay-Z is an excellent song maker. Drake is an excellent song maker because we still have to realize this is commercial art, and you have to sell the product, and the product has to be heard. And that's why we put these artists on pedestals in a sense, because really what do we have to look for as the leaders? As entertainment, like we said, we listen to these guys every day. We get us through our job. It's soundtracks, even for us as adults. It's a soundtrack. You know, it has to have some feeling, some tertiary, something that we can touch and feel, we can understand.
Got you.
You know, and it has to be relatable, and it has to kind of rhythmic. It has to sound good. You know, and some artists aren't capable of doing that. Some artists are professional pop artists. Like I look at Drake. To me, I feel like Drake should have been bowed out of the rap business a long time ago, because if you look at every top rapper except Jay-Z, what is the trajectory of a rapper?
To make good music.
Hollywood.
Yep.
Look, the best, in my opinion, the best rapper ever. Then he got a couple movies under his chest. Andre 3000.
Yeah.
Big Boy, T.I.
Yes.
Ludacris. Ludacris is a pop movie star. Ice Cube, he makes his own.
Yep.
Queen Latifah, Yo-Yo, Pop, you name it. The LL Cool J, Ice-T, everybody. That's the trajectory. And Drake was there first. Then you went over to music, and I felt like he should have bowed out after probably the The 6 album. That would have been perfect. Go back to Hollywood, because you could have been the comedic space. You could have been doing the Kevin Hart movies. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, dude, there's more bread. Look at Will Smith. Will Smith was a pop rapper. He wasn't street, and he went immediately into television, and the next night making $20 million a movie. That's, to me, was Drake's true trajectory. Yeah. Not going back and forth with a lyricist from a backpack era of dust heads, and you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Like, dude, like you're gonna lose that one, bro. You're gonna lose that one, and that's why for me it's like wrestling. It's like, okay, you gonna wrestle? Who's the top wrestler right now? Who's this? Who's gonna go against this? I'm done with it because it's juvenile at this point.
Very true.
It's like, to me, it should be like, yeah, you either on business, like Jay, and even Nas. You know what I'm saying? Look at Nas. Look, Jay had to get Nas correct. Like, look, smarten up, Nas. Get your money right.
Yeah.
And now look at it.
Yeah.
Now look at it.
Now he got his money right. You right.
Right. And rapping is just a fodder thing. Even for Jay, it's fodder now, because we're dealing in big business. You going to be on two levels if we're going to do this. Either you're going to go into the Hollywood realm and make it and stay there, or you're going to go all of this middle. Because look at how many movies Jadakiss and Devin the Dude. How many of these dudes is making movies? Right. You got, it's levels to this. It's gotcha. Levels, but even with some of those mid-level artists like Cameron, look what they've done. Look at what You got the podcast.
Yeah,
Look, we got this sphere now. Look, you got more rappers doing this than anything now.
hell yeah, because they got to, bro. We in a different we're in a different lane now, because now rap ain't as important as it used to be. Now you got to be in people's faces and show your personality. A lot of these people, a lot of the younger generation didn't even know some of these guys are actually funny or actually know what they be talking about outside of rap. You know what I'm saying? They just look at rappers as rappers and like, oh, I just want to hear the music, but the music ain't.
Right.
It's not that. It's not what it didn't have the same effect as it used to be. Like when we were coming up. You know what I'm saying? We was coming up. Wasn't no damn podcast. It was just radio.
No podcast.
You know what I'm saying?
It was just radio.
And every once in a while, somebody would do an interview.
Yep.
That's it.
Yep.
It wasn't.
Or you have a director hood movie,
Yep.
DVD.
Yep.
That'd be at best. And here's the cool, crazy thing. And I be clowning Jay from time to time because I can. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm gonna be his biggest critic and but also to understand what he's done. Inspirational.
Yeah.
You coming from the streets, being in the streets, you supposed to take that flip money and invest it into something bigger than what that was. Is drug business, the streets is a stepping stone. If anybody need to learn anything from Jay, and a lot of artists have, because you got podcasting, Hollywood, whatever, etc., business, whatever. You got a juice bar, fine, whatever. Long as you take that hustle, because that was the crack hustle of the 2000s and the 90s. Yeah. That was the legit money. You take that money and you flip it and you go on about your business, and you hopefully that the next group of people learn the same thing, because really it's a teaching thing. You know what I'm saying? You're supposed to go to the next level. But that's all I had to say, fellas.
Man, appreciate
I'm on it.
Appreciate it, bro.
All right, y'all.
Yeah, for sure.
So do y'all think do you think that the industry is, because it's more data driven right now? Like I said, the executives, like you get in those rooms, you get in those meetings, you're gonna hear a lot of like statistics. You're gonna hear a lot of numbers. They're gonna show you the data. They're gonna tell you what sells in what sector, and what type of, like, if you're doing this type of music, it'll sell in this region, or this region your biggest audience is here. And do you think that affects the fact versus fiction point of it? Because like, if I do this type of music, I'll probably sell nationally, versus if I do this conscious rap, that will probably be just cool in this region. Or
definitely. What's up, B? Yeah. What's going on, B? Yeah, definitely. I believe that's true, man. Because now, outside of that, let's say you have, you heard of two different artists because you was just on Spotify. You ain't never seen these dudes before. They music just so happened to pop up after you got done listening to another album. Yeah. You're gonna tap in if you like the music. So at that rate, it's not gonna really matter, what he talking about on the podcast. You like the music, but that's how you got hooked onto the music. So then you going back and you looking at whatever else he did or she did, you know what I'm saying, musically, and you like, oh, okay, this is dope. The rest of this stuff is dope. I'm about to tap in. Then that's gonna lead you to probably an interview or something like that. You know what I'm saying? If you wanna look into it. Because a lot of these people it's still some people to this day that don't care about the personality. They like good music. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't even start, prime example, I knew Domani was good. You know what I'm saying? Before he threw his disses out to 50, right? I knew he was good already. All of a sudden, interviews starting to pop up. I wasn't looking for them. They just popped up. Mm-hmm. So you see what I'm saying? That's how easy it can happen as far as that data is concerned. Your name popping in that algorithm, okay, you about to get called for these interviews. Now when you go on YouTube, that's the first interview you gonna see. So it's a big data game. It's a huge data game. And
you're in a catch-22 as an artist, because you can either stay true to your art and try to build your try to take the Nipsey route and try to build your audience organically, where it might take 10, 15 years for you to get your victory lap, which was a great album, but it took us a long time to get it. Yeah. And you had to go the long way around to get to that point. Or you could take that fast money by listening to the exec saying, listen, if you dress in these kind of clothes, you put on this type of persona, and you rap about these things, we can guarantee you 20 million. You could be the next Lil Yachty or the next Lil Uzi Vert or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
As an artist, you kind of like, man, I'm gonna stay true to the art, or I'm gonna go feed my family and take this money and use it as a stepping stone
Yep,
to
and keep
go
it moving.
somewhere else. Yeah,
Look what Chameleonaire did. He was
yeah,
in and
but
out.
what does that do to the audience that believed your music? That
Eh,
took everything you said literally, and now they're in prison or they selling dope or whatever you said you was doing, and they've emulated that type of lifestyle, and now you done got out of it, and you living in a $20 million mansion somewhere, doing multi-million-dollar deals, living off residuals,
But if
and
you
never
think
know to
about
live
it,
in that life or
but if you
haven't
th-
lived that life at all.
but if you think about an artist like Chameleonaire, he was never promoting negativity anyway.
No,
No, he
yeah, not
wasn't.
So
chameleonaire,
He did
not
a he
yeah,
did a
chameleonaire,
whole
but there
album,
are
no
artists.
cussing.
yeah, but yeah, most artists do, you know, because that's unfortunately what sells. But that's what kills our. That's also the same thing that kills our community because you got a lot of younger guys growing up taking on this mentality and thinking thinking you gotta have dreads. And thinking you gotta have tattoos, thinking you gotta have guns. Like they grow up acting like this is the way to go in order to make it when it comes down to music, and it don't
For
have to go like
somebody,
that.
as somebody who aspired to be an artist, do you feel like if you would have got in a room and your choice was to either go commercial and do it the way that the execs wanted you to do, which may would have involved you sensationalizing your life and telling fiction versus you doing what's true to you and maybe not getting that record deal and going the long route. Do you
It
feel like if you had to put yourself in in your shoes or in those artists' shoes, what do you feel like you would have did?
it will all depend on if I was in survival mode or not. If I'm in survival mode,
Okay.
I'm gonna definitely take the easy route and do the commercial shit. However, if I'm already good financially and I'm not trying to get out of the gutter, I'm gonna stay true to myself. If I'm doing all right, I'm gonna stay true to what I want to do because I'm not gonna be able to look myself in the mirror knowing that I'm lying about what I'm talking about
Yeah.
just for a come up.
Yeah, because somebody will
But the
call you
crazy
out on
thing,
it.
Yeah,
Somebody
but
will
the
call you
crazy
out on it.
thing is, most of these people that are in the industry are people from the gutter, and that's who these execs target. I think it's a thing. It's like, well, I could. Um, somebody said if I knew what I knew now, I wouldn't have done a lot of the music that I've done.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Like I would have been more true to myself. But I think that's why they target people that are younger because it's easier. They're more impressionable.
absolutely. And they want to come up quicker. Yeah, they want to come up
They're
quicker.
more impressionable. And I'm
But
broke.
right. But before we get out of here, let me ask y'all two things, man. Do you guys know how to separate the artist from the rapper?
Yes,
I'm
Or the
40
artist from
now.
the person, I'm sorry.
yes, and I
I'm
do
40
that.
years old,
Yeah,
though.
I do it now as
I'm
well.
40.
Yeah, I do it. I do it now as well, and I think that's what separate me from a lot of people. Like some people say they can't even listen to Freddie Gibbs because he was laid out on the bed with his ass cheek spread or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So to some degree I understand it if you actually saw footage of that. I can only imagine it's hard to listen to somebody and you saw that on the internet. However, if the music is good, the music is good, especially if you don't know him personally. I actually listened to Alfredo too. It's good. It doesn't have a lot of replay value, but it's good. Like he's on there rapping good. It's just my problem with Freddie Gibbs outside of his antics is that he's too repetitive in what he raps about. It's only so many times I can listen to you talk about money and women.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Dope you done sold or haven't, whatever. You know what I'm saying? So I can't listen to Freddie Gibbs like that. But then some people say I'm never giving him a shot because the porn star that took a picture of him.
I like his lyrics. I like his lyrical technique. I just don't like his music.
Got you. Yeah, I can understand that. What about you, Mel?
No, I'm at this age. I've definitely learned to separate the artist from the art, or the person from the artist. But at a certain age, when like I said, when I was younger, like bro, I believe like you said it. You said it. I kind of took it at face value, but that's when I didn't know any better. So man, I was very impressionable. I started listening to rap when I was 8 years old.
Right.
So I didn't have anybody to sit me down and be like, listen, bro, this is it's purely entertainment. Most of these people don't live what they what they rap about. I kind of took it at face value, and I kind of saw. And if you see some of these ills and some of these things in your neighborhood that you grew up in, it's like, oh, this is real, and this is really what I have to do in order to solidify myself as a man, or present myself as a man in my community, and that's far from the truth. So now at 40, yeah, I know the difference.
That's what's up, man. Well, listen, y'all, I appreciate everybody that's been tapping in. This has been a great show. Man, I appreciate y'all. And we're going to be back next week with something else hot, man, for y'all to talk about. Get in the comments, man. I appreciate everybody that's been tapping in.
All right.
Thank you again. We up out of here, y'all. Till next time. Indeed.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Talks with Todd.